That's what he does. So he helped to balance it. So we literally, with all my family, within the second year of business, we had made $3.2 million.
Ooh,
And then this year we ended with 5.26.
let's
So
go.
we made a total of about $9 million in business, and I literally gave it all away. And that's,
Uh,
yeah, that's where it comes from. So
Bad moves,
yeah, I
bad
literally,
transactions, not knowing what you don't know,
yeah, absolutely.
and not having somebody in position to give you that information, that guidance, and be genuine. Because a lot of times people actually presented themselves to be helpful and to be, on our side of things, but it's an agenda behind it all. A lot of
For
times.
sure.
right. And I literally, I said to my family, I said, you get a job, like I did the Oprah thing. You get a job, you get a job. How much do you want to make? Right. So
Mm.
our payroll ended up being, just on office staff alone, it was like $64,000 a month that we was paying on payroll just for our office staff.
A month?
A month.
Hey, family. This is Jay Willis coming back with another episode of Wealth is a Journey podcast. Guys, we moving and shaking out here, getting good information to the people, the listeners. If you are new to this podcast, thank you for joining in. Hopefully you'll subscribe and you'll continue to listen to this good content that we're putting out regarding faith, family, and finances. Also, to the return listeners, thank you for coming back. We appreciate you. We are in for a huge, huge, huge treat today. I got my people, these are my people. Elisa and Carlton Applewhite. Let's go. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So before I have you guys introduce yourselves, I'm going to talk about y'all real quick.
Sounds great.
These people are not just my people, but they are clients of mine. And I just want to personally thank you for what you did for me. And what happened with me was, and you, Elisa, you already know, is that I was super shy, super introvert, all the things. We jumped on a call. We did our thing. We got the budget in line. We did all the things, right? Carlton, Elisa, and I. And then the next thing I know, then she starts talking about what we did on the morning meetup call. And then other people start talking about how I helped them on the morning meetup call. And then Dave calls me up like, "Yo, Che, you want to call?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm here." He's like, "Yo, so do you want this is a Monday. Do you want to teach what you do on Wednesday?"
I remember that. I remember.
I'm like, yeah, sure. That was the start. That was my start to get out of my comfort zone. And I just want to say thank you for what you did for me. Like that right there for me was huge, because it was the start. It was the process of me getting out of my shell, getting out of my comfort zone. So I just wanted to say thank you.
You're welcome, bro. You got that Elisa effect. When you that's what they say. They be like, Elisa, when you speak, Dave, listen. No, because I speak honesty, and I don't lie. Like, I can't lie. I got a whole bunch of other sins that probably trying to get at me. So like, I like to be honest, and I was so honest with you, and I'm just like, Shay, I can't drop that number. Like, I can't drop that number. I'm not ready to drop it. So and you were just so honest with
On top of
us.
that, it's also God's work. It's God's
Yeah.
decree. What's decreed by the Creator, it's going to happen. It's not always on our time when we come out of our shells and we start speaking, but it's on God's time.
Yeah.
So it was the perfect time.
Yeah. And the thing is also, Carlton, what you don't know is I was like, oh man, because men, as a man, talking about stuff that stuff that don't nobody else know about is uncomfortable for us. And talking about your finances to somebody else who you don't know is a challenge. So the first time we did the discovery call, I'm like, this probably ain't gonna work. I don't know, because I could see the uncomfortableness when we did the Zoom call. But as we started talking, as we started uncovering some things that you were probably saying to your wife, that now you were hearing from me, and you were like, oh yeah. Go ahead, tell her that, Che. Tell her that again.
Connections,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, something about reality. Like when reality hits and you can connect with other people, man, that totally see things in life the way that you've been seeing them for years, for whatever amount of time it is. It's a connection, and it's like, man, okay, finally somebody's been where I've been. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. Somebody sees what I see.
You good?
I am. I'm good.
Okay.
Okay. It's a connection automatically.
We love each other. This is how we communicate.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So again, appreciate y'all.
To get somebody to be like, let me stamp this off. Well, she tripping.
It's not just me. Like, it's not just me all the time. I mean, I operate the third eye. You see one too, but there's a third too, and not everybody see through the third eye sometimes.
Yeah. Again, I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Now, for y'all who don't know, these people have made a ton of money, and we're gonna get into that. I'm talking about M's. We're gonna get into that later. But I first want to know how long have you guys been married, and how long have you been not your business yet, but how long have you been in business together?
So we have been married for 4 years.
4 years married.
That's it?
Married for 4 years, together for 5.
No, we've been together for 6. This is 6 years. No, this year will be 6 years.
In total.
Because I think it's 2018.
Yeah, 2018.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So this will be 7 years total. Shay, we can't control that child. We done told her stay upstairs.
Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. I thought
what you want to do.
I really thought that y'all was married for a long time. Like, long time.
This is how we felt.
This love is actually, brother Shay, is ancient. It's ancient love.
Telling you.
And so it was also God sent. It was heavenly sent, because I had actually prayed to the Creator for my wife before I even met Elisa. I worked on myself. I built myself. I prayed to the Creator and told him, guide me, allow me to build myself and invent myself to be a great specimen, a great king for a queen. And I asked him to send me the queen that's meant for me, right, and protect me against the ones who are not meant for me. And so I went through a couple of different situations, and finally, he revealed her to me when I came to a realization that love didn't exist anymore. I was in love with her before she even knew and seen me.
Okay.
Ooh, he talking that. So, hey, listen, hey, Carlton, stop now before y'all have to stop the podcast and then have to cut to a commercial break, and then y'all come back like 30 minutes later. I don't.
Got a little child running around. She control our bedroom and everything. We walk in the room. She like, hey, how y'all doing? In the bed watching TV with the remote. Like, go to your room, child. God, Jesus Christ.
I think before it's very important. I think when we're talking about finances, we're talking about business, to take it back to the beginning. And if you guys can give me a snapshot of your relationship with money when you were younger, meaning, how did you learn about it, or did you learn about it? Did somebody teach you? Did you observe your parents, how they operated with finances and stuff like that? Because I'm going somewhere. So I need to know that first.
So before Carlton, I was a budgeter. Okay. I would say with you, I was a budgeter until I started the business. That I don't know how it stopped. But I literally had the budget for the majority of my life, because I had my son when I was 14. I had my first apartment. I had my first house when I was 18. So I was still in high school. I was in 11th grade. So I had I was homeless by the time as soon as I turned 18. I was homeless for about 6 months, and I always worked since I was 14. I've been paying bills since I've been 14. So I've always had side money, right? I didn't know that, hey, you're supposed to have a percentage. But as years went by, I realized that, you got to have your side money. So I would do things. And I was telling Carlton this the other day. I was like, this is the year that I'm going to speak. Like, this is my speaking year. And he was like, yeah, babe, you know, go for it. You'll be great at it. And I'm like, I'm sitting here reminiscing with him. And in high school, I literally would do speeches for like 200, 500, $1,000 to pay my rent up because my rent was like $200. So that was the way that I would pay the rent up an additional. And I made like $300 a week. And I thought that was money. You couldn't tell me it wasn't money. You know what I'm saying? It was money. So I would do those speeches and stuff. And then I would apply for scholarships and I would get the additional money. So I always been the type, I would pay my light bill up for like a year. So I would put money on the light account so they can take it over a year. I would pay my rent up for the year. I always pay my money up in advance, and he knows that my family knew that, like, she got some money somewhere. I don't care what you're saying. She ain't zero broke. So prior to us getting together, I had probably, I don't know, 100,000 up, like 50 in retirement, 50 in cash, right? 50 in cash, just not being smart. So we got together, and then he brought his job, and then I brought my job, and you know, he was a real man, you know, a real man. So I ain't had to spend no bills like I had to. So I was, you know, I was saving up more money. And I remember, like, before we started the business, I'm a travel nurse. I've been a travel nurse for 9 years now.
And y'all get money.
So
y'all get money.
So I've been a travel nurse for 9 years now, and I've been a nurse for 20 years. So literally, when we started the business, I said to him, this is just something I want to do. Like, we were fine. We had 50 in cash, 100 in savings. You had 50 away in retirement. I had
401k.
Yeah, he had 50 in retirement. So we had money. Yeah. It wasn't like, you know, I'm doing this business to make millions of dollars. I was literally doing this business to get God's message out, but also to employ my family. That's a big dream of mine. Like, it ain't going nowhere. I get it, but it ain't going nowhere. I'm going to eventually employ my family again full time. I mean, we're going to talk about that a little bit more.
And also, it just made sense too, when you found out through the travel contracts, how the pay system was. The agency actually extracting certain percentages of the money, and they're keeping it for themselves, and you're getting paid a certain amount. But it's crazy. It's like, if I'm getting this, you know, working for someone else, then why not get the whole apple, the whole melon? You know, what that would look like. And once she did the research and the math on that, it's like, wow, this is crazy.
I'm telling you, it was crazy because I traveled, and that's the thing about it. Yeah, we were getting money, Shay, but I left home. I left my husband when my daughter was 6 months old.
Yeah.
Wow.
I left when she was 6 months old. He said, babe, what are you doing? I said, they need experienced nurses, like people dying. And I really needed to, that's why I say postpartum depression is real. I really needed to go out and save somebody and help somebody, because of the childhood that I had. I'm very honest with my childhood. I was molested for years by my dad, and it caused me a lot of birth problems. So anytime that I would get pregnant, I would have to go on maternity leave, like soon as I'm 3 or 4 months. Wow. He didn't know that. He knew that I had complications, but he didn't know how serious it got. And he was like, babe, we never doing this again. So the last time before we got Callie, so we got 5 kids together. Callie, the doctor was like, don't have no more kids. Like, you're going to kill yourself if you have kids. Yeah. But I knew that I had a great man, and I knew that he wanted to raise a child in the house and, you know, with his wife and stuff. So I'm just like, let's get pregnant. And he said I set him up, and I don't know. I probably did.
I just really felt like it was really unbelievable. It just showed to the character of Miss Elisa, who she was as a person. It's like, I had a conversation with her because of, my history, my past relationships with people and stuff like that, looking and searching for love. Long story short, not thinking I had it, but not really having it. It being a mirage, it being an illusion. And then it's like, I looked at me as being a youth, a kid, and always wanting my mother, my father to be together, to raise me up together. How great that would be for a child. And I said, when I have kids, I want my child to have the mother and the father in the same house and give them so much love and support and knowledge and information. I spoke about how I was just yearning for a daughter. So that conversation sparked it, and for her, she digested it. She's just a different beast, a different breed, a different person, right? She really listens. And that's kind of rare with a lot of people, right? And so all of a sudden she went to go and she kind of planned in her own mind.
Sets you up. Uh-huh.
I'm
listening. Yeah, I'm listening.
To give me what I'm asking for.
Sure.
Regardless of what she's been through, she knows her journey. And it's like, you willing to sacrifice your health, your life, for a desire, for a wish of mine. Wow. So, and when I seen the process in which she was going through, I didn't know it was as serious as it was. I said, man, it's nothing I'm not going to do for this woman. She's putting her life literally on the line. The complications, like, it could have killed her for real. So I just bow down to that.
Yeah, I have this not for some reason, we know what it is. Yeah. It's for like, as soon as I get pregnant, within 3 or 4 months, I dilate the full 8 centimeters, like the full 8 centimeters. So I have to be on bed rest the whole time and monitor my blood pressure and all this stuff. And he was just like, like, babe, it's either you or the baby. I hate to choose, but I'm always going to choose my wife, and I'm just like, no, we're going to keep her in, like, my legs in the air and everything. Shay, like, we're not going anywhere. Like, she's going to stay here, and so glad that she's here. As soon as we had her, I was like, that's, he was like, that's it. And I was like, that's it, regardless of what, this is it. It literally almost took my life.
And it was truly amazing that she survived. The baby survived and Elisa survived. Yeah. And the doctors, to hear the doctors talk about everything and to hear how severe it was. And then to see the pain and the agony that she was struggling with, she was fighting and battling with, man. The insanity, the depth of it. It's nothing I want to do for this queen right here. Nothing.
Wow. It sounds like that. For you, Carlton, specifically, and let me. Okay, so I love hearing people's stories to see where they came from to where they are now. And it sounds like you're the type of person who pays attention to stuff that happened as a youth.
Yes.
And you're taking the actions now to kind of correct that so it doesn't happen to the future moving forward.
Let's break the cycle.
Correct.
The cycle gets broken. It changes with us.
Yes.
It's crazy. The first millionaires in our family, to see $1 million pass through our fingers. Yeah. So to be this successful in life, like, to have our kids have everything that we did not have coming up, you know what I'm saying? The cycle stops and it starts here with us.
And that's what like, when I met Carlton, I moved him in like the first week. I was not playing. Like, I knew he was it. And I'm like, I can't believe how all these women been sleeping on you. But he was dating women that didn't have jobs. Like, what in the world? Like, I didn't think that existed.
A few had jobs, but
they had no real jobs.
But they was kind of like Tommy. They didn't really
had no real
job.
They had no real job. No, it was just like, because when I met him, I remember the conversation. Like, Shay, he blew me off the first time. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, Carlton. So my mom literally, she's like, I want you to meet this guy. My mom set us up. I want you to meet this guy. She's like, he's a friend of her ex-husband. And I'm like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because all his friends don't work. None of them work. Like, I'm not. I will be single for life.
Now, he actually worked. He worked hard. Like, he was a DJ. He was like a really great DJ. And this guy, he's a friend of mine, and he showed up in different places where I've been. I was a part of a band at one time.
He looked like he worked,
and it seemed that he was getting a lot of money.
He looked like he worked, So, look, I was there with the mother,
but not really.
God rest his soul. So, literally, I get there at the cookout. It's a Mother's Day cookout. My daughter's like, Mom, you gotta dress nice. So I put on this yellow dress. And when I get there, they're like, oh, she's looking for a man. I'm like, yeah, I'm really not. I'm just dressed up because my kids said dressed up. And I get to the kitchen and he's like fixing this plate. And I'm in the door and I'm like, hey, this is I've been like this all my life. Who husband that is right there? Who husband that is right there? I'm about to get his number. Like, I don't know who husband this is. And they were just like, I don't know who he is. So I asked my mom, like, Mom, who husband is that? Who's this dude? And she was like, oh, so you like him. And this is the guy I've been trying to hook you up for 2 months or whatever. And I'm just like, good job, Deborah. So this is how me and my mom talk to each other. Good job, you know. Right? And he comes outside and she's like, this is my daughter that I want to introduce you to. He was like, oh, nice to meet you. I'm going to go eat my food. And then when I finish, I'll find you.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Who are you talking to?
I'm gonna finish his food first.
It was fish.
I like that.
Fish is my favorite dish.
Okay.
And crazy because that's how Mom's got me. Mom said, I'm having a fish fry. I said, well, listen, if you're having a fish fry, I'll be there. Okay. So, you know, fish was my favorite dish before LL Cool J came out with it years ago.
I'm so done. So literally, I leave, I go home. And my mom had invited my ex-husband there, right? So I leave to go home and I come back and I'm just like, Mom, I'm about to go home. Like I was done. Like I felt like he brushed me off. I don't do the chasing the man stuff. You know, I'm a nurse. I'm good. I got my own house. I got my own car. I don't need a man at this point. I'm good. Yeah. So we literally I'm walking, I'm about to go home and he's like coming from his car with one of his friends. And he's like, yo, wait, excuse me, where you going? So I was impressed because he had on a white t-shirt and he got a lot of tattoos and he looked like a thug, right? And I don't do thugs. I was like, I don't do no Build-A-Bear stuff. I don't do no workshops. I don't do none of that stuff, right? You gotta have your stuff together when you come to me. So he was like, you know, where you going? I was like, I'm going home. And he was like, but I didn't get your number. And I was just like, okay, before I give you my number, where do you work? And he was like, he got offended. Like you could tell on his face. He was like, excuse me, like I have a job. I've been a supervisor for 15 years. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, all right, cool beans. How many kids you got? And he goes, I got one child and he's 18 years old. And I'm in my mind, I'm calculating. I'm calculating. So then I was just like, do you got your own car? He was like, yes, I have my car right here. And I do have my own place. He was like, you asking me all these questions, you know, do you have a job? So it's my time to shine. Oh, sir, I've been a nurse forever. Like, you know, I'm doing good. I got my own house and all this stuff. So we go back and forth. The guys on the porch, every guy on the porch done try to talk to me. They on the porch, like looking like she gonna turn him down. This is what she do. She gonna turn him down. And he gives me his number, different. Whatever. He's different, right?
I'm like 2 chains. I'm 3 chains. I'm different.
He gives me his number. I'm just like, all right. So then I text him and I get no response, right? I call him, I get no response. So I'm like, I'm done. I do one call and that's it. I don't chase nobody. I ain't gonna even lie, Shay. The next day, like God put it on my heart to call him like right after work. And I called him and he was just like, hey, you know, and I'm like, hey, I called you. And this is what I told him. You lucky I called you because I called you yesterday and you didn't pick up. I texted you yesterday and you didn't pick up. That. I don't call men twice. So like, you know, let's get on the phone.
Something different about him.
Yeah, it's like, you know, let's get on the phone and talk. And from that moment on, we have been together. Like from that moment on, we have been together. It was crazy. Dope.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty, you know, nice and high level for her to actually call me like that when she don't normally do that in her rules. And so when I talked to her and the question she's asked me initially just stood out amongst everybody else. It was like, yo, she's unique. She's different. She's giving me like the 4th degree. She's asking me all these great questions. Yeah. You know, everybody else want to say, hey, can you get my nails done? Can you get my hair done? Can you buy me this? Can we go shopping? You know, she's asking me real questions and it just stood out. And I just wanted to see because I was on a mission. I said it was something different about her. I want to see what God has for me. And so if it's meant, then it's going to formulate ahead. It's going to show itself. And sure enough, the conversations we began to have was crazy. We would talk so much and for hours on hours that it begins to talk about nothing. And it was great and exciting.
Yeah. Are you tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Are you tired of using your credit cards as an emergency fund? Are you tired of being scared when you think about your money? If the answer to any of these questions is yes, I'm here to help. My name is Che Willis, and I help families living paycheck to paycheck live the life that they want to live through budgeting and investing. Now, I understand that the word budget is scary. What we're trying to do is we're trying to take that fear out of the word, right? All we're doing is telling our money where to go. That's it. We're paying down and reducing our debts to take that money to march out into the marketplace to bring us back some more money babies. That's all we're doing. So if you need help in this area, I am here for you. Please go to wealthisajourney.com. Again, wealthisajourney.com and book a free discovery call today to see how I can help. Again, wealthisajourney.com. I look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you.
That's dope, man. My wife and I, and anybody you're obviously married to, there's that instant connection or something about that person that you just can't leave them alone. Something about them. So we've been married. My wife and I, we've been married for almost 19 years, and the connection that you guys have, you have that, which is the reason why I thought that you guys were married for a lot longer than you have been. But shout out to y'all, man, for just loving on each other, man. The love is genuine. I can tell.
Yeah, this my dude right here. I love my husband. We just been through a lot, and like I remember
that's the fact. I'm sorry, that's the factor too. Is that
we've been through a lot.
When we begin to talk, she's telling me her story, and I'm telling her my story. She's telling me her journey, showing me her journey. I'm showing her my journey, a glimpse into it, and everything that she said, everything that she showed me, was exactly my story. So I was the male version of her, and she was the female version of me.
Wow.
In the relationships.
Yeah.
So we've been through the exact same things. We were exactly
in our childhood.
Yeah, we was the same people. So like looking at me, looking at her, was like looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
And so it's like, wow, this is crazy. God is showing me in a female version. So everything I've been praying to the Lord about, I need a real queen. I need somebody sincere, somebody that's really going to be 100 with me, genuine with me, have my back, have something on their brains, their minds. That's what I was looking for. A female with a brain, with a mind, with a heart, right? And wanting something out of life.
Because
she had everything.
I asked him 250 questions before we ever slept with each other. I was not.
We traveled from state to state, and the whole entire time we traveling, she's asking me 99 questions. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. None of the questions are the same. Like, how do you do this? This is crazy. And our journey, our long distance journey, became really fast and short.
Yeah. And then also, if you have a connection with somebody, then it's like you already kind of know them already. And if you identified her as you and you identified him as you, then it's like I'm now in the protective person that you are.
Right.
It's like you're protecting yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's when I see the passion, and I'm sure the viewers will see the passion as well that you have for her.
Yes.
It's like you're protecting and taking care of you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I get it.
It's crazy you picked that out, brother.
Yeah.
Because I always been that person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a strong protector, and I love to take care. My thing was I want to always take care of the females that came into my life.
Yeah.
And anybody that steps in my kingdomship, I always felt the need to keep them safe and to work hard to be loyal and allegiant, have allegiance with them, to make sure we're all safe and protected.
Bruh, it's and this is not this is I'm glad we're here, because this has nothing to do with what I was going to talk about, and I'm glad we're here.
Crazy.
So with me, I can identify that in you because I do that with my son. I identify a lot of the things that I didn't have, whether it be protection, love, care, whatever it is, money or things that I saw growing up that I saw that might have not been right. I'm protecting him from all of that.
Exactly.
And I'm shaping and molding him as the person that I wanted to have growing up. And don't get me wrong, my childhood was not horrible, but all the things and the gaps that I saw, now that I'm looking back, I'm filling those gaps, raising him.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Room for
And
improvement.
so
Could have been better.
yeah,
And now it is better.
yeah, and that's exactly why I could identify with what you're doing.
Absolutely.
I can identify that. But shout out to y'all, man. Y'all
You guys as well, man. I'm proud of that 19 years. I can't wait to get there. You know, we're gonna have a grand party at the 10-year mark.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a crazy wedding.
And guess who's gonna be there?
I know that's right.
Yeah.
Guess who's gonna be there? You know what I'm saying? My wife is a nurse, and she's a nurse. We on episode 52, we were on there and we were talking about our first date, and I knew she was special because she took me out on the date. And normally I'm the guy, I pay. But but the date, it wasn't crazy. It was, we went to Popeyes. Okay. And she paid for my meal. It might not have been $15, but the fact that she spent money on me, I knew she was special, man.
Oh my God. Can I say something?
Go ahead, man.
Listen, man. God, you walking in my shoes, brother. So it's crazy because like I was riding with my guy like I normally do. I'm flying, at the time, I was kind of,
not this story.
I one of my habit was drinking and
okay.
And, sadly to say, but I had a great time.
Allegedly.
So I'm with my guy and we just riding on. I get a phone call, and the phone call is Elisa. And this is shortly after I answered the phone when, I wasn't answering the phone and she don't normally call me back, call guys back. She called me back. And so she says, hey, how are you? I just want to know what kind of briefs you wear, what kind of deodorant you use. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. Are you really asking? I'm talking to myself as I'm listening to her. She asking me what kind of boxes do I wear? What kind of deodorant do I wear? So I told her, and she's buying me. I'm like, it's blowing my mind. Yeah. Nobody ever buys me anything. Yeah. I'm always buying everybody else everything. Yep. And so, fast forwarding, my birthday pops up in June. In June, it pops up and she says, hey, I come from work. I'm a supervisor in a manufacturing company, shift supervisor, and I was doing good for myself, and I was single and I was just happy to be single, living my life. And so she says, after you get off of work, I want you to just put some nice clothes on and I'm going to take you out. I said, taking me out? Okay, all right. This is different. This is cool. You're taking me out? Wow. And so, like you said, you went on that date. Your wife took you on that dinner date. She took me on the dinner date, and I went to Red Lobster, which is one of my favorite places, right?
Didn't know that.
And it's crazy. She took me to Red Lobster. It's one of my favorite places. Yeah. And she said, just order whatever you want, And so I'm doing this, man. And I'm just like, yo, I'm really digging this chick. I can't believe this is happening. Like this is God's signs to me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Automatically, she's buying she's buying dinner for me. Who does that?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
It speaks volume of the person she is.
We gets to the house and I had all his family and friends at the house for the surprise party. I had his birthday cake created in the shape of his car. So like it was like
I was like Kevin Hart.
But the crazy part,
I wasn't ready.
That was normal for me, right? That's like, to me, if you say you're a queen, if you wife material, you think about the stuff he don't think about, right? And you think about how you can make him smile and stuff like that, especially when you listen to how he grew up in his childhood. Like, he would tell me stuff like, it was days I didn't have clean clothes and I was still clothes off the line, allegedly, off the clothing line, going through the project so I could have something clean. Yeah. So it's just like, man, and birthdays, please, what's that? That's like, just drinking with your friends. So I just wanted to show him how great I seen him was. And I've been telling my husband this for years. It didn't click to him how beautiful he is yet. But when it clicked, I'm going to still be here. I ain't going nowhere. But I'm just saying, it ain't clicked to him because I know and the world knows, but it's like, he's like chill and humble. And they be like, people come, you don't worry about him? Not at all. Like from the day I met him, he said, here's my phone. Here's the code. Anytime you want to check it, just check it. He was like, I'm all in. Let's go. And I'm like, well, give me some time, Carlton. I had to
open book,
this,
man.
for a little bit. Like,
you was open book. She was a closed book.
Yeah.
A little
What was
bit.
way closed? Yes.
She was like trying to close a little bit. But I spoke to God before we even went on this journey, man. I went on this walk together. I said, man, I got to see what God has for me. And I said, I'm gonna be an open book, because before I was rushing into relationships, because I would ask God for that in prayer. Send me the right woman, Lord. And so this woman will pop out, and they come out and they present themselves as being great and majestic and all of that and wholesome and having something on their brains a little bit, but it was a host, but she was different, man. She was
And
totally
then
different.
we did all this through celibacy. Like, he respected the fact that I was celibate, and we probably slept together 4 months later. We lived together for about 4 months, but we slept together 4 months later. People didn't know.
She won't let me go home.
I wouldn't let him go home, but the fact that he was a man respecting sleeping in the same bed with me, respecting the fact that I don't want to make an intimate connection until, either you're going to be my husband or permanent, because I was tired of getting confused with sexual signals.
See, that was my point. That was my point. I lost my point just a minute ago, but that was my point. Is I told God I don't want to rush it anymore. I want to take my time. I said, show me the sign. If it's meant to be real, God, then I'm gonna take my time. And if it comes out to equate to the same equation, not real, don't exist, love don't exist, then I'm done. I'm just gonna be single for the rest of my life. So I didn't want to rush with this. So I just took my time, and everything that we did, I said, I want to be intimate with her mind, her brain, her heart. I don't want the body. I don't want the body. I want that mind, that heart first. And once I get that, and I know it's real and it's genuine, then I can digest the body.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. And my wife is the same way as Elisa, and I don't know if it's the mother nurturing person, but like, she wants you to feel good. She wants to take care of you, and that's what she did with me. She cooked for me, she cleaned the house, and all the things, and I was just checking off boxes like, okay, she does that. Oh, she does that too. Oh, she does that. Check that off. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But that's what happened, and it's been a beautiful thing, man. And I'll tell you what, something about nurses, man. Just me, I was young, and in my job I used to work for a rental car company, and it was like super competitive. Like, you wanted your numbers to be better than this person's numbers. So then that ended up translating over to the house. So I'm working 5 days one week, 6 days the next week, and my wife is making way more money than I'm making, and I am hot. She's only working 4 days a week. Bam! I am tight, yo. I'm so mad because she calls me up. I'm washing cars and in a shirt and tie and making sure the customer's, making sure my lobby's clear and all that. And she calls me up and tells me that she's at the mall. I'm like, no, you didn't, yo. No, you did not. So that nurse life is something special, man. But y'all are nurturers, and I think y'all take a pledge or an oath to take care of people and stuff like what I know she did when she graduated from nursing school.
It's a great story. I'll give you one great story about that pledge as being a nurse coming out of that academy and stuff, man. We was out in the city one night, and we was having a great time with some friends, and we went to like 4 different clubs back when we used to club.
Mm-hmm.
We went to 4 different clubs. We went to a club, a reggae club.
We sure did. White people club.
What is that? What does that even mean? Y'all went to the disco?
Yeah, we was partying. And so after all of that, man, we was feeling really, really good. The night was a great hit. And so on the way back, traveling back, man, all of a sudden we see an accident occur where this car flips over. It flips over. We're going this way, the car going that way, and people are out there trying to get the person off the ground and get them out the cars and stuff like that. Yep. And so we're driving, and we're pretty much wasted. We've been partying all night, and so she sees it. And when she sees it, and we're on the side, the traffic's going this way. She's like, "You gotta stop! Let me out, guys! Let me out! I gotta go check the car. I gotta get over there. I gotta make sure they're okay. I gotta make sure they survive." And so out of nowhere, she just went into her super cape, and she went over there, and she actually was a major factor in that person over there laying on the ground, surviving until the EMS is what they call
EMS
pulls up and everything. So when she said, it's my job, I can't go past somebody in need of help.
I think that's a part of. I think that's a part of the creed or whatever it is.
Oh, the Hippocratic Oath. The
oath. There we go. The oath. There we go.
And
so y'all get to it. And I know that. And my wife now, she's a triage nurse, and she just basically just takes phone calls, and she works from home, and it's great, and she does well still.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, but so with your business, Elisa, you actually help people build their own agency. Is that correct? And then you send them out, or
we actually have our own healthcare staffing agency.
Let's go.
In 2021, I came home from working COVID. I said, babe, we taking our savings. We're going to go ahead and start this healthcare staffing agency.
All of it?
And that's what he said. He was like, all of it. And I'm like, yeah, all of it. But we only utilized $50,000 at that time. And you don't need $50,000 to start a staffing agency. I'm just extra. I like nice stuff, right? I like stuff to look professional. So I'm going to spend money on furniture, like the $4,000 couch that I bought that he complained about. But it was beautiful, and it's still beautiful, right? So it's
bro, I'm already I see you, fam. I see you.
So we start the agency, and I get the office. I get this big 5-suite office. It's like $3,200 a month, and it's in a new location, new build. It's just beautiful. And I'm just like, all right, everybody gets an office. So I literally hire my friends and family who hasn't had jobs in a very long time. Years.
Okay.
And I expect them to come and work. So like I'm
reaching back and
right. I expect them to come and work. So within I think the first 3 weeks, the 3 weeks, we had to transition everybody separate separate 2 people, because my son had came on. So separate 2 people. And we literally in 2021 we opened it. I hired about 17 family members to my business. In our first 9 months.
I got you, fam.
I told Carlton, I said, I want you to quit. I want you to come and work, because he was working at the factory that he's been at for like 15 something years. And I'm just like, I want you to quit, because we got to make this money. I need you, because again, he is me. I know he me. He gonna get it done. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no excuses. I ain't gotta check on him or nothing.
A boss forever.
He gonna get it done. So he's just like, nah, I join. And I'm like, well, when will you join? And he says to me, Shay, when you make $1 million. And I said, sir, you won't make $1 million in that job, but I accept your challenge. So 9 months went in. We made our first 1.2 million.
Let's go.
9 months. And then I went to him and I said, babe, look at our account. You ready to quit now? He was like, we made this. I said, I keep trying to tell you, like, your wife been working, so let's join. I'm like, I know when you join, we're gonna double this, we're gonna triple this.
I'm like, how long it's been?
9 months. I was not playing, because I needed him. I needed that. He is like the stability part of me. Like, I'm compulsive. Let's do it. Yeah. He's just like, let's slow it down. Let's think about it.
But you need that though. You need somebody who's going to help balance you out. Continue. I'm sorry. Continue.
And that's what he does. So he helped to balance it. So we literally, with all my family, within the second year of business, we had made $3.2 million. And then this year we ended with 5.26.
Let's go.
We made a total of about $9 million in business, and I literally gave it all away. And that's where it comes from. So
bad moves, bad transactions, not knowing what you don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not having somebody in position to give you that information, that guidance, and be genuine, because a lot of times people actually presented themselves to be helpful and to be, on our side of things, but it's an agenda behind it all. A lot of times.
Right. And I literally, I said to my family, I said, you get a job, like I did the Oprah thing. You get a job. How much do you want to make? Right. So our payroll ended up being just on office staff alone. It was like $64,000 a month that we was paying on payroll just for our office staff.
A month.
Yeah. Just for 17 people.
When I came into the company and we got everybody settled in and they got these premium pay signages. We was making like we in a week. A week. It's like we had $100,000 weeks times 4 in a month.
Yeah, we made about 400 a month.
That's 20 something grand. You know, we was getting months like that. You know, money was great.
And I allowed them to pick their salary. And I'm thinking in my mind, if you pick your salary, you're gonna work harder, right? If you have an hourly rate, you're gonna work harder, not knowing that later on, after we got the training that we needed from the multiple different mentors, that you can't give people an hourly wage and expect them to sell. You know, you got to give them hourly plus commission. It's so much stuff that you could do. So I came in with this nurse's dream, and we gave everything to our nurses. And my husband's like, you're doing too much. And I'm just like, no, I'm a nurse. I understand what it's like.
And the money's coming in too. So you like, oh, we good.
We good.
Yeah,
like,
massages, you paying light bills, you doing everything. You paying for daycares, you giving them the referral bonuses was outrageous. Like you giving them almost 2,500. It's crazy.
Wow.
And so, I mean, it's crazy.
But that part is not going to change. We just
give some love, but
we figured out a way to funnel the money. Not funnel. I don't want to say that's a bad word. We figured out a way to build a nonprofit and have a lot of the money that come through the nonprofit to still support some of the ideas that I had without coming through the company and being taxed twice. But I had to, at the end of last year, and I just been working and keeping it to myself. But at the end of last year, I had to let my people go. I was like, I can't afford to do this anymore. And that's when I had reached out to you, like, bro, I'm in a bad predicament because, I don't release this number, but I'm gonna release it for here. So I'm talking to my husband, and he's just like, all right, he sees the money coming, he sees it going, and he's just like, what's going on? So I'm like, babe, I need this. Like, it was just, we kept being hit. So we ended up taking out our retirements. I told you we had a lot of money in retirement. So we ended up taking out retirement. And I remember him, like, he took out 50 out of his retirement. And I was just like, well, how much do you want out of the 50? He was like, I don't want nothing. I just want my wife back because I can't. He's like, I want my wife back. I don't care how much it costs. I need for you to get back. Cause this business is cool and we making money, but you gonna lose your life at the rate you going, like the stress level. And he is very verbal. He's like, y'all just need to work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all need to work. And for a whole year and a half, I didn't even pay myself at all.
My slogan was, there is no tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The time is now. We gotta make money now. Because what happened is everybody got so comfortable. This is why you don't give them the premium pays like that. Everybody got so comfortable with having those premium payments and them big checks every week, regardless of their performances or what we're bringing in as far as clients. They still getting the premium checks. They still living that life. And the thing about it is they was getting paid the most money they ever made in their life in employment.
Yeah. And I did that on purpose to try to motivate them. You get and I told Carlton this yesterday. I said, the biggest thing that I feel like, I know I'm not a failure, but I feel that way because I took a bunch of people from the hood and I showed them how to make millions and millions of dollars. And then I had to let them go because we couldn't sustain it. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, Carlton, he's pro Elisa. Nah, they had an opportunity. You gave him an opportunity. Yeah, I get it. But
reality.
That's a fact.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Shay,
that's a fact.
For the people that
this is not a budget call, but that's a fact, though. That's a fact. We gonna stop. We gonna stand right here, okay? Because I think we talked about this during the call too. But the thing is, the best thing that you can do as an example is to just be the example. And if they want to say, "Hey, Elisa, hey, Carlton, how did you do this?" Let me show you, not let me give you, because it's like giving a 16-year-old a Bentley.
Yeah.
Just giving it to him. Here, take it. they're really not gonna care about it, because what did they have to do to work for to get it?
The
Like
value, value that.
You value things that you work for. You value each other because you work for each other. You know the trials and tribulations that it took to get you to where you are today as a married couple. So therefore, you know what it takes to maintain it.
Mhm.
You're just giving people opportunities, which I'm not saying that you're wrong for, but maybe it could have been, okay, well, I'm going to start you off here. You work to achieve this thing, and I'll give you more at that point. But you're just giving them the more. And then they didn't have the evidence of being a hard worker.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not going to work hard, and it's you.
Yeah, and the fact and the truth came out when we came from Vegas. We went to Vegas to a big conference, and we got a lot of information and valuable millionaire jewels in the rooms with the million and billionaires, and we put it into application when we came back, and we seen what they was.
So we literally we went to GrowthCon, Grant Cardone's event.
Okay.
We had paid to get into his private room, and his Jared Glant, that's why I love Jared to this day. Like, he's a real good guy. So he's the president of Cardone Enterprises. And we're in the private room. I'm asking Grant questions, and Grant's just like, you're not thinking. I need for you to understand who has your money. And I'm just like, my nurses, the hospitals, like, what are you talking about? He's like, who has your money? So this little short man literally screams at me across the stage and goes, who has your money? And I'm just like, people. He's like, yeah, it's just that simple. And I'm just like, yo, so many people got my money. Like, everybody got a dollar in their pocket. Like, I had like this epiphany, like, yo, if I deal with 1 million people, that's $1 million. So it just made me think. And I was saying, like, I'm paying all this payroll. We in debt. So Carlton only knew we was in debt, but Carlton didn't know the number, right? We in debt. And I'm like, Jared, what can I do? He's like, you need to pay them commission. He just broke it down to me in that little session. He was like, you need to pay them commission. This is what you need to pay. He was like, are you doing KPIs? And I'm like, yeah, a little bit. Like, he's like, no, you need to do da 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 da. Like a genius, just spilling it out his head. Yeah. And he was like, I was like, all right, what can I do now? Like, we're sinking now.
This is the question.
So he's like, I'm like, what can I do now? And Jared's like, all right, just check how many phone calls were made. He was like, you was gone all week. I was like, yeah, we've been in Vegas all week here at GrowthCon. And he's like, just check the number. Just see how many phone calls they made. Numbers your account manager. Numbers don't lie. He was like, numbers don't lie, Lisa. People do, right? So I'm just like, nah, this is my family. They've been making calls.
Our team.
You know, and I literally, we had about 12 people in office.
Yeah, about 12 people.
12 people in office. I'm calling, I'm on my phone because, you know, I could check my phone statements and stuff or digitally. So I'm on my phone and I'm checking it and I'm like, nah, this can't be right. So I call the phone people and I'm like, how many calls were made from this particular number? And they like, oh, 2 calls, two calls
in 7 days.
And how many days? So in 5 days, because they only work 5 days. So I'm like, all right. So then I picked the next number. How many calls? Shay, out of 12 people in office, 8 calls was made in 5 days. You talking about your girl just, I bust out, started crying in the middle of the floor. Cause I'm like, I'm sitting here.
How are we making money?
I'm sitting here. I'm getting loans. I'm getting everything to keep us going. And Carlton's like, you know, babe, this is what I'm talking. I'm like, nah, everybody fired. Like, get out. I don't care where y'all go. Leave your keys. Like, I was so mad.
Devastated.
And that was unprofessional of me to fire them the way I did.
But that's what they was telling us in Vegas. They said, you know what? You need to fire them.
Yeah, you need to let them go. So, you know, I'm just like, y'all, I can't afford y'all. I can't even pay y'all payroll next week because nobody's working. Like, this ain't cool. Yeah. And we ended up doing, we kind of ended up doing like the virtual assistance things, you know, just to keep the business going.
Sure.
Because we were paying them like $600 to $700 a month to do 40 hours a week, right? So they were, you know, doing the positions or whatever. And I'm just like, yo, I gotta have this heart to heart with my husband. So literally, Marcus Barney, this is why I love Marcus. I do. we met him that day at a mansion party that he was having. Well, like a mansion get together he was having, and we met him, and then we talked about it, and he was just he's so stupid.
What are y'all
He
doing?
was like, what are y'all doing? Like, Elisa, if it was my mother and she
Family?
wasn't acting, I would fire her. And I'm like, Marcus, you ain't gonna fire your mom. He's like, yeah, I'll fire my mom. But like Turk said, since he ain't firing his mama, that boy loved his mama. She would stay in that position even if he had to. So, but he just gave us so much game. Like Marcus gave us so much game.
Yeah.
And he was literally like, sis, this is what you need to do.
Mhm.
And he's like, did you purchase Grant thing yet? And I'm like, yeah, we dropped it. Like, you told us to come. We like him. We dropped it. And he's like, man, I wish I would have knew before
You did it.
before you did it, because I would like, you could do my program. He's like, so go through Grant's program and then go through my program. I'm just like, all right, cool.
The message was to make the millions first, get the money, become
Right.
super successful, and then bring
Your
and sprinkle in the
sprinkle
family,
your family.
that way, not bringing them in initially. Everybody that all the millionaires around me in my ear, we have multiple conversations, networking, and they're saying the same thing, is that, listen, you got family, you got to get rid of them. Like I've been there, bro. Like I've been there. We had to fire our family.
Yeah.
You bring them in once you have become super successful, and if anything happens, it don't affect you.
And not absolutely, and not just family, the right family, the family who's going to do right by you,
Exactly.
because that's the reason that you fell out on the floor, because you're like, yo, I'm taking care of these people, and they not taking care of me, which is crazy. But that's the way it's weird. It works like that. The people who you take care of, because it's happened to people that I know, that that I understand, that the people that they taking care of, they crap on them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand that.
It's backwards, man. Mentally, it's psychologically, it's backwards. It
Right.
doesn't make any sense.
But at the same time, like I tell Carlton, if they had more training, if they had that, instead of having that high hourly rate, if they had to fight for commission to get there, then I think it would have been better if I was more trained before I brought them on. Sure. And also, at the end of the day, it was my family that helped me create millions of dollars. Elisa didn't do that by herself. Me and Carlton didn't do, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I got to give them credit for that. They did work enough to make the millions. It's just, it was allocated wrong, and I'm taking ownership for it. Because Dave, I went to Dave Shands in Morning Meetup, and I'm talking to him, and he gave me 5 chances to say, Elisa, who the problem? And I picked 5 different people. He was like, Elisa, you ain't gonna never pick yourself. You the problem. Like, you are the CEO of this. See, he said part of it.
Yeah.
Part of it. For sure.
I'm still the CEO. It was when I got to a certain level, you should have money. When you get to a certain level, you should have the money, and you should training. You shouldn't have the proper training. But to get to the story, like I had to
each and every one of us performed and was able to land contracts and facilitate everything through your methods and your processes. If it wasn't for that, we would have never made that much, that amount of money. And so we got that. And guess what? They was hungry. Everybody was hungry. Yeah. So what happened is they got comfortable. They got comfortable. We could have had some more training after the fact. But still, if they would have stayed hungry, they would have continued to bring in money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I had to literally tell my husband, like, I'm sitting here crying, and I'm like, we in debt. And he was like, how much debt are we in? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I really don't know at this point. So Marcus Barney, I see him again at Podcast Summit. He's like, sis, pitch me your business. Let's see what we can do. Let's see how we can help you. So he was the one who sat me down, like you sat me down, and got me to know how much debt I was in, right? I knew our bills. I knew what we had to pay, but I didn't know the debt. And I'm sitting here, and I finished the pitch, and I'm showing my husband, I'm like, you ready for this number? And he's just like, how much debt are we in? And I had to tell my husband that we had owed $639,000 of debt.
Over half a million.
And like you saying, wow, right? I had to look at my husband, like, take a deep breath, like, this is enough to end any marriage, right? That's enough to be like, I can't do this anymore, and he was just like I seen him take a deep breath, and he was like, no lie, like straight trooper. I'm trying not to cry. He was just like, you know, what I got to do to help you get out of this. And that's what I love about him. Like he always got my back. Don't rub it because you know we're gonna cut the camera.
Don't cut. I don't want
So he just always got my back, and my family, they like literally cut me off. And that's why I've been going to morning meetup, and I've been like, y'all, I need a family. Like my family cut me off, and they feel like I did them wrong, but nobody knows that I'm left with $600,000 to pay back. And that $600,000 came from paying their salaries. It didn't come from the nurses, right? So we went through a lot. We went to waking up and owing people, and our accounts was frozen for $200,000. Like we went through a lot, and it's just like, yo, we got to rebuild this thing. And thank God, Myron Golden's just like, Elisa, you can teach people how to do this. And I'm just like, can I? I didn't like really can. He was like, well, you taught your whole family how to make millions of dollars. And I'm just like, all right, let me do it. So that's what we're doing. We teaching people now how to build their own health care staffing agency. We still running our agency at a low number because we got to financially get right.
Absolutely.
We don't want to bring in a bunch of money and then somebody else come close down the account and we can't pay people. We got to protect our reputation.
Strategic.
So we're being real strategic about it, but we're bringing in students, and they're like, 3 or 4 at a time, but they still coming. And this is like, man, I love teaching them. And one of our students that we taught, Eli, I absolutely love him. He is hilarious. He took our course in December, and he got his first contract in February with a major hospital in Atlanta. It's just like, right. I'm like, God is confirming, so now I don't look at, I owe $600,000. I look at, what do I need to sell to get to that product, to get to that $600,000 point, right? Because at the end of the day, God is greater than any amount that I owe.
Yep.
It was just a hurtful feeling of, I did so much to keep our family together. And as soon as I was financially unable to do it, right, everybody scattered like roaches, like
who they are.
They just no phone calls, and we talking about
no assistance.
Like my mom and my dad, and they literally, it took them a while to come back, and my mom was just like, we had to get ourselves together, and we love you and whatever. And me and my mom, we have a relationship, but everybody just like left us. And
before that, we can drop an ice cube and somebody's catching it before it hit the ground.
Right.
Yeah. Because you were feeding them. You were feeding them. So it was more of it turned into anyway, more of a transactional relationship.
Exactly.
Right.
As opposed to genuine love. Like here, there's genuine love. I see that.
Exactly.
But with people that you're feeding, and it's just like we see it all the time with NFL players, rappers, people who we look in our community that we see, and you're not exempt because you're a nurse. It happens to anybody who's like super generous with what God blessed them with. And as soon as the money stops, they'll stop coming around.
Exactly.
It sucks.
You haven't heard from them at all. And and that's what a lot of the brothers with the sisters was telling us too in the conferences and stuff, man. It's lonely at the top. This is what happens. You want to scale, family members, you want to scale friends, you want to scale, and like I told Lisa many times is that, if you notice what's happening here is that all the family members and friends that we scaled here in the situation, God has replaced them and is replacing them with business family members.
Yes.
Like you said. And friends and stuff like that. And it's crazy because the mindsets are the same. We're on the same mission and same drive.
Absolutely. And it's good. It's good. It sucks, obviously, but it's good that you're going and you have the mindset to work through this, because when you come out on the other side of it, your relationship's going to be stronger. Your bank account's going to be stronger. You're going to have staff in place that are supposed to be there. So when you really get to the 10 million a year, you won't know what to do with it.
Right.
And the crazy part about it, Shay, is we in 2022, we secured a contract for 70 facilities, right? So it put us at having about 80 facilities. And right now we hold 110 facilities, and we cannot staff to the max because of the money that we owe, right? So it's just like, all right, no more what we can't do. Let's figure out what we can do, right? Because we have to be able to staff those clients. And the clients, like, I'm honest with everybody. I'm honest with my clients. I let them know, what happened or whatever. And they just like, Elisa, okay, whatever you got to do. So, they're taking some of the staff that they've been taking for the years. We've been, shuffling them in, but it's being very strategic. And it's just like, at the end of the day, when we get back hot, I still have 110 clients to attend to. And with 110 clients, with just 2 of my clients alone, if I staff 2 facilities that I have, I'll make $1.5 million a month. So I'm just like, yo, I gotta get there. God already set it up. Everything is set up. Everything is set up.
This is our journey. This is a part of our journey.
This is our story.
Wealth is a journey. It's our story to tell, man. When she get on these stages in the future, and like you said, we're getting to 10 mil per year, man. This is going to be our story to tell.
Absolutely. And the part that sucks, but it's cool at the same time. It's obviously not cool going through it. But when you look back at the things that you go through, you realize that it wasn't that bad, and it gave you a testimony to tell somebody else who may be going through or headed down that same path that you headed down, and who you can help now because you already went through it. So you can be like, yo, whether it's your family members, whether it's your friends, people in the morning meetup, whomever you run into, you can give that story.
And that's happening right now. That's happening right now as we speak with the
absolutely. You just writing your story.
Yeah. With people that's getting to buying the courses right now, we're giving them how to build their healthcare staffing agencies from scratch, right? But the thing about it is, it's really big because they get to build it without the hiccups, without the problems, without the debts, without the problems we went through. Everything that they're going to face as prismatic, we already done died for that. We already done took that bullet.
Yeah. And that's the way we teach them. We give them, some people say we give them too much, but I feel like I would rather give you the resource so you can go back to it than say it was never taught to you. Because when you do get to $1 million, my mentor, she literally said, when you get to $1 million, come get you need to get a mentor. And I teach my students, before you hit $1 million, because you're going to hit it in this industry, you need a mentor right away. Like, that need to be your biggest investment, because it's things that you can do. Like, we lost $365,000 because we filed the business wrong, right? So it's like stuff like that. It's when you make
hiring employees that's from the military, that's coming out of incarceration.
Oh, that's a whole nother.
It's money.
$400,000 that we lost.
We didn't utilize it
because we didn't get the credits for the WOTC people. So we literally, first year,
mentorship,
we had 240 nurses, medical professionals for working. We dropped it down to 100. Right now we got 100 on the roster, right? 100 on the roster.
Not counting office staff.
Not counting office staff. And we have 6,000 people who applied. So like, we did it big, but it's like, yo, we grew too big, too quick. And it's a way to grow. It's a strategic way to grow. And I was literally like, oh man, we got this contract, you get a job. Oh man, we got this contract, you get a job. And that's not how it works. You have to have it in budget. Where my bro come from, you got to have it in budget before you bring people in.
Yes.
And you learn along the way that if you want to be an Amazon, if you want to be a Walmart, if you want to be a Berkshire Hathaway, if you want to be those type of business, they do their budget for 10 years. Yeah. They do a 10-year budget. So I'm just like, yo, it is what it is. Let's work on our 10-year business budget, because this is where we want to go. So I'm just super excited because I'm still living out my dream. I'm still living out my goal. We decreased our office. We actually bought another suite. So it was like about $6,800 a month for the suites. And I decreased it all the way down to just one suite. And now everybody's virtual. So I'm able to
scale.
I scaled all the way down. And I'm just like, yo, we're gonna revamp this business, we're gonna do it the right way. And we still operating to keep our name and keep our brand out there. But I'm telling Carlton, we gotta take students at a certain time, because I feel like every time we take a student, we're helping them. I see them growing. I love it, but I'm not getting onto the $1 billion goals that I have. Like,
Franchising.
I know I want to be a billionaire. It's not even an option for me. I know that's what God set me up for. Probably some trillions, but you know, I'll dibble in the billions until He's ready
Big
for me to
dreamer,
get there.
big dreamer.
Right. So in order to get there, you need partnerships, right? You need licenses. So that means I need to be franchising soon. Like, so next year, that's what we're doing. We're falling into the franchise model, and that is only how we're going to offer our services, is through our franchise.
And then you're gonna eat forever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
for the life of the companies,
Yes.
man, everybody has to pour back into.
They got to pay them royalties. They do.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
like
because you already set up the business, you're teaching them how to do it, and why not?
Mhm.
This has been really good. My major takeaways from this episode, and hopefully other people have taken away, that it's easy to make the money. And I tell this to everybody who does a budget club pretty much all the time. It's easy to make the money, but when you're not used to making money, or you haven't been around it, which is the reason why in the beginning I asked you what was your relationship with money, because a lot of times people will repeat the patterns that they see growing up. And especially if you're not used to making, or not used to having abundance, when you get it, what do you do with it?
Right.
You blow it, because you were never taught how to, invest in stocks and whatever else there is. But that will be my major takeaway from here, man, is get on a budget, obviously.
Yeah.
And take care of those who deserve it.
Mhm. Strategically selected.
Strategic, yeah, because there's going to be people who you're going to come across, obviously, and they're probably going to take advantage of you, because you're a very kind, very generous person, and they see it. So so hire the right people, and grow with that. If you have to start off small, start off small.
Mhm.
But it's good to hire those people who are going to have your back and take care of you, especially when you go away. They're going to be doing the right things.
Right.
And working with your spouse it takes a special individual, Carlton.
Mm.
It takes a special individual to work with your spouse. My wife and I, we have real estate together, and she's kind of like the silent partner. And the thing is that, like, when I have to get her involved and stuff like that, sometimes we kind of butt heads a little bit. So it takes a special individual. So shout out to you, bro, for working with your wife and loving on her.
Absolutely, man.
How can if somebody wanted to take advantage of your next enrollment, your next class, how can they contact you?
So they can go to Instagram at the real Elisa Applewhite, and they could just inbox me, DM me about the course. We decided that our next course is going to be in August. So we're going to do one in August. I'm not sure if that's going to be the last course for the year, but I know for sure in 2025 there will be no courses. Like it's all franchise. Because the way I set this up is truly franchise education. And the lucky people that's taking advantage of it now, they literally get the CEO budget, like the budget that I've been utilizing to help me make these millions of dollars, the KPIs for every position, every office position that you can literally have. They get every job description for office staff, how to hire, when to hire, how much money you need to have. We have I believe it's 7 accounts that we talk about, and we break it down on how like each money goes into those accounts. We have like this pamphlet where from the dollar to up to, I believe it's $50 an hour of profit that you're making off the medical professionals, how you can just look at a page and be like, all right, when you talk to your scheduler, how many nurses working today? 10 nurses working. My profit need to be $3,000, right? Just for today, right? So we made it so simple for them. And the reason why I wanted to do that, because I had mentorship when I was through the healthcare staffing agency, but I paid one time and I didn't pay again for the mentorship, right? And then the other people were people running their business, but like I would pay them and they would give me little bits of information. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't like, Elisa, you're a full mentor with somebody. So we got full mentorship now, and it literally is, you don't have an issue with making money. You know how to make money. We need you to get to a point where not only just keeping it, but keeping it so you can actually keep it in your business and grow and not give it to taxes and IRS. Because like I said, before I got into Morning Meetup, Carter Cofield came on David Shan's show, and he's just like, I'm asking him a question about like, yo, we got to pay a lot in taxes this year. Like, what's going on? And he's just like, well, are you a C Corp or S Corp? And I'm like, no, I'm an LLC. He was like, how much money you make? And I'm just like, well, I think right now we at 1.2. We ended with 1.2. That was the first year. And he was just like, yo, like when you make your first 40,000 a year, you're supposed to change to an S Corp or C Corp. He's like, you're paying a lot in tax. And he's like, and you're a sole proprietor? And I was just like, yo, what is all this? Why are you getting so, hype? Like, why is Carter getting so hype? And Carter's just like, sis, he was like, you paid about 300,000 in Social Security fees. I was like, this man is in my mind. Like, he's like, yo, you throw away a lot of money. You need like a whole tax strategist, accountant. So that's what I did. I got a tax strategist, accountant that literally helped me to strategize. Yo, all right, this quarter, this is what we got, what we need to do, how we need to move, because we ain't doing that. We're not doing that. Because the government is just like, yeah, you're not never gonna see that 300 and some thousand ever again. So tips and stuff like that we teach our mentees, like, yo, day one, stop, don't be cheap. Elisa was cheap day one, didn't get an accountant until like 6 months in. Got an accountant 6 months in. She charged me for all the 6 months back. So I had to come out 10,000 just to work with her. And then that wasn't even including the monthly fees. So I'm just like, yo, day one, get an accountant. Stop. I tell everybody, I don't care what type of business you in, day one, get an accountant, because that's the biggest way that you could get in trouble with the government is when you commingling funds, you're not filing your stuff like you need to be filed. So I just really want people to be set up to win. At the end of the day, I serve God, and I'm always a servant of God before I'm anything else. And I know that God will handle every problem that I have, but this fleshly body once in a while gets weak and be like, Lord Jesus, I know you said it, but can you hurry up? You know what I'm saying? So, I got to put this flesh back under subjection. Like, look, what are you doing? Question the creator. Have I not done this for you? Do you forget what I've done for you? Right. So like, if anybody is interested in building this healthcare staffing agency, August is going to be the last one for us for this year. I'm not sure if I'll do a next one. Like at the end of the year, I do know for sure August, because we had two people that's really interested. And they just like, you don't want to do it in May. And I'm like, no, I don't. I don't.
Yeah.
Right. I need some time off. I want to do it in August. So August is the last time. We're going to do a lot of advertisement. We're going to be, if you don't mind, back on your platform advertising as well.
Absolutely.
Because I appreciate, bro, because we want to get them in, because once we get them in, that's it. Everything else is franchise. And, we only charge $20,000 for our course. Our franchise model is going to start at $100,000. So I'm really trying to get people to say, yo, get this course right now for $20K, because that same course plus a little bit more perks is going to be $100,000 next year.
You got to think about it, $20,000 investment, right? Because we investing in yourself, investing in your $20,000 to make millions.
It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. And I was actually talking to a family member last night, and I was telling them about some upgrades that I was making in my my offers, and they're like, whoa, you're paying that, they're people are gonna be paying that much? I'm like, well, if I'm saving them thousands of dollars on a monthly basis or even a yearly basis,
right?
If they're paying 500 or two, whatever, that's not a deal. Like, come on.
They don't understand.
Yeah, it's okay.
Mindset, man. It's about the mindsets.
Yeah, it's fine, man. It'll all make sense, and that's why you just got to stay on your journey. If you believe in what you're doing, you got to stay on that journey and write that story, and then you'll be able to go back and then tell other people about it,
Absolutely.
like we're doing now.
Mhm.
And y'all, yeah, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all are
To
gonna
you
be
guys
good
as
shit.
well.
Y'all gonna look back a year from now,
Oh man,
and things are gonna be way different.
we're gonna be
Yeah.
smiling really, really big.
That's
Yes,
right.
Definitely.
That's right.
More vacations, more investments, right?
There
Look,
we go.
he ready to get back to Vegas, Shay. That's what he wanted to do.
Vegas. It's my second home.
I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. But listen, I appreciate y'all time, man. Y'all have been great guests, and I'm sure y'all be back. And if you have any commercials or anything that you want me to put in the podcast or at the end of it or whatever, you just send it, and I'm putting it.
I got
Tell,
you.
tell the wife we said hello as well.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Tell my nurse
our
sister,
sister.
how she doing. How
No
she
doubt.
doing?
And that I appreciate her service.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We talk
absolutely.
on a different level. Like you find out you're a nurse, you just like, let's go.
You're my sister. We're family.
That's
Yes,
it.
sir.
Front
Yes,
line.
sir. So appreciate y'all, and we'll definitely have you guys back. When you guys are ready to offer the franchise, we'll have you guys back on. You can talk about it and get this thing going.
Let's
go.
go.
Absolutely.
Shouts out to MMU.
Absolutely, man. MMU has changed my life, man. And one thing that I'll let you guys go, but one thing that I learned that being a part of this community is like, first of all, it's like a family, and then you're collaborating with people and just getting to know people, and it's genuine.
Yeah, it's genuine.
It's true.
Bro, and everybody's trying to grow, and everybody's encouraging each other. It's not fake.
Nobody's hating.
Bruh. It's amazing, man.
And then it also makes you hungry. You be like, what? They did that? I'm making this offer right now. I'm like, I know I can do this.
Yeah. I mean,
That's right.
everything you possibly can need in your process of business is in the meetup.
It's in morning meetup
in our community.
Yep.
It's right
All
there.
the tools that we need in our tool belts or our toolbox.
Yeah.
Is in morning meetup.
Yeah.
And that's who I do a lot of business with is morning meetup. I do a lot of business with morning meetup.
Yeah.
Again, I'm a family person. I like.
Yeah, I'm a recipient, and what you guys are doing for those people, your students, is amazing. You're giving them the morning meetup membership inside of their thing, which I didn't know you were doing, and you're having them talk to me about getting their budgets together, because before they start making the M's, they got to know what to do with the money.
Oh, but wait, there's more. So they get a chance to meet the infamous, the famous Auntie Shaky, and she teaches them how to build a trust right now, like and how to get the right insurance, because we were paying $600 a month for insurance since we had our business, and didn't know that if we went with Auntie Shaky, we could have utilized that money to borrow some of that money. You get what I'm saying? So to help us with whatever debt that we had. So it's like she gave us information. We got Cynthia comes in. Cynthia,
AI.
The AI queen. She comes in. She teaches them how to build their own virtual assistant during the course. So she teaches them how to build their own virtual assistant during the course. We got my sister Nella. I love my Nella. She's showing them how to get that social media money. Like, let's set it up the right way. So when you start building your business, you get that social media money. We got George doing the logos. He doing the videos. He doing the website. We don't partner with Ash Cash. He got the what is it? The Book Rich. So he has the platform Book Rich, and his team is helping build my team their website. So everything they have to come in and do their websites, and we pay for them once you pay the $20,000 package. So if you got like a discount coming in, this ain't for you, right? This part ain't for you. Everything else for you, but if you got a discount coming in, this part ain't for you. But if you pay the $20,000 package, which we're not doing any more discounts, it's $20,000 is what it is. We literally pay for a year for you to join the abundance community. We pay for a year for you to join Trapper Anonymous, so Traps community. We pay a year for you to join Morning Meetup. We pay for you to go on VIP with the Make More Offers Challenge with Myron Golden. And then you get part of our community, which we have all things healthcare community. So you get a year membership with that. That's not the mastermind. That's just a year membership to build a community with us. And They get so much more. They have
value.
Vero coming up there. Vero teaches them how to do their Shopify store.
Basically, everything that
everything
they
they
need
need.
to be successful
Is in the
in this
house.
business, she's bringing it in.
They get ADP to come show them
They ain't
about
gotta go search for
payroll.
it.
They get the scheduling person to show them about scheduling. They get the workers' comp and professional person to come in and sign them up on workers' comp. Like everything you need to run your business, we got it there. Like we got these people showing up because they know how I am. Like you said, Shay, I'm like this with everybody. I'm very genuine. And they know like, yo, we seen her when she was up, we seen her when she's down, and we see her while she up again. Like Elisa is the real deal. She's really going to tell you what it is. And I don't sugarcoat it for my students.
Over deliver.
But that's what you're supposed to do
This is
in
how
any
you win.
course.
This is how you
You
win.
have to over deliver. Like you can't just be giving people anything. You can't taking 20,000, 50,000 for people when you just go through this by yourself.
If you want raw game, you're gonna get it from Miss Elisa Applewhite.
You will. And they say, you know, I do too much, but I have committed to 80 hours of my students. They see me every day. Like I just choose to have them see me so they can ask me questions. They're like, well, at least they don't give them a chance to come and purchase console. I get what you're saying, but at this point, if you purchase and believe in me to give me 20,000, because I do remember at a time when 20,000 was a lot. Again, I remember when I was homeless, 20,000 was a lot of money.
For sure.
So I get it. So if you purchase that, then I'm going to pop in more often. I'm going to check on you. I'm going to call you and say, do you got any questions? They're like, what? Like, I thought you charged 20,000 an hour. I do, but you invested in me. So let me invest in you.
Are you okay?
Right. So yeah, are you okay? What's going on?
Because you're going to come across so many issues and complications at times in building your business. And you're going to need somebody to navigate you through it, to hold your hand, to give you answers, you know, and solutions and problem solve.
And so, you know, one of the things that I absolutely love about my program is we take 6 to 7 weeks to show you how to build it. You get to meet all those people I just said. And then we take 6 weeks. Carlton does this because he's the account manager. He takes 6 weeks and he's like there with you getting the client. Like I'm here with you.
On the calls with you.
I'm on the calls.
In the chat
We're doing whatever we gotta do to get this client for the next 6 weeks.
Strategize.
You show up, I'ma show up. And that's just like, yo, I really want you to win. So when you doing that on that larger scale, it's time to raise the price and it's time to make it, you know, we invest in a lot of time into people. And if we invest time into the people, we want it to be a franchise because we have our mission and goals too. So this is going to be the last one in August again. So if people want to join, they could just inbox me get it. We taking deposits now. We only take a certain amount of seats. I'm so sorry. I'm not that type of person that'll take 100 people. I'm just not. I'm not going to do it. Like I ain't driving myself crazy.
What's the information?
Oh, at the real Elisa Applewhite on IG. So just inbox me at the real Elisa Applewhite IG. Get into the course. Get your deposit in. Let's go.
Tap in.
And I'll make sure that I put your information in the description in the video. So
appreciate you.
This has been a great interview, man. I definitely appreciate y'all, man. And I see y'all winning, and I want to hear the good news when these M's start rolling in.
Man,
that makes me happy seeing people win too, man. So thank you so much again. Appreciate y'all. Wealth is a journey. We will see you next week.
All right, my brother. Stay blessed by the best.